Morning everybody. Thanks for watching 6 Feet Jeep. My name's Army Truck Josh. Today we're going to be replacing a U-joint in the front end of the Jeep. And I'm going to bring you along, try to show you the best I can. I'm no mechanic, so don't take this as mechanical advice, but just a way to do things and get things done yourself. So I hope you all enjoy. Thanks for watching. First thing we're going to need to do is get this wheel on. I got all the lug nuts loose up on this. We're going to jack it up and pull the wheel. We're going to use the high lift jack for this. This is a dangerous piece of equipment if you don't know what you're doing. So if you buy one of these, definitely look up how to use it. Make sure you read the manual that comes with it and all that. These can kill you if you don't use them right. So we're just going to go ahead and jack this tire up. I'm going to use the inside of the wheel, pick the whole side up, put it on a jack stand, and then we'll pull the wheel and get under it and get this all apart so we can replace that U-joint. The high lift jack, you're going to want to take this, put it in the upright position. That's going to make it to the jacking section, or jacking, a function of the jack here. You undo the handle, and you can pull this up to whatever height you need. It'll free spool, or whatever you want to call it, until you get to where you need to jack. You're going to want to keep your head out of this area, because if you let go of this, it's going to slam against that as hard as it can. So, all the way down till you hear it click. Just like that. Keeping your head out of there. I don't even like having my fingers in here, because that's kind of sketchy, but as you can see, that's not going to be an issue with this situation. Make sure your handle's clipped if you have a clip. If not, put a bungee. I have a bungee here for when I keep it stored. So make sure that's all there. We're going to put a jack stand under this. Go back down, put that in the lower position, and you're going to want to crank it real easy. Jacking it down is just the same as jacking it up, only you're going down. So when you push down, it's going to release and there's going to be tension on it. You're going to let it loose real slow. You're going to push all the way down, you'll hear a click, and then the tension of the weight of the vehicle will be on the handle again, and you just let her down slowly. We're going to check this for wobble, make sure the wheel bearings are good. Seems to be okay, there's no major play in there. Brakes look good. So we're going to go ahead and pull the rotor, then we'll pull the brake disc and get back in there and see what else is going wrong. Make sure it's just that U-joint. So something that will help out a lot is a little bit of penetrating oil. WD-40, PB Blast, or any of that will work. Just put it on your nuts and bolts and all the stuff that you're going to be undoing, and it'll make things a lot easier. Alright, next thing we're going to do is undo the bolts to the back of the brake caliper here. 11 millimeter. A little persuasion. There we go. Should break it loose. Those should come off fairly easy once you break them. I'm sorry, I misspoke. That is a 12 millimeter on these brake calipers. I had my socket in the wrong spot. Whoops. Alright, now we're going to get these calipers out of here. They might take a little gentle persuasion here.
My pad might fall out. It's about to happen to me.
There we go. Got them loose. Calipers loose. You want to either hang this or support it somewhere that is safe for the caliper, like that that bar there. Alright, now we pull the brake disc. Sometimes these are wedged on there pretty good, but a little wiggling will break it free. There it goes. Alright, so now you can really hear that's that U-joint knocking around. So more than likely you'll be able to see back in here where the U-joint is. There's a little bit of slop. That's our issue. Got some squeaking going on. That's going to be part of our problem. Next bit we're going to do is undo the bolts that hold this entire wheel bearing and all that in place.
These are 13mm, there's 3 of them. Might need a little break apart. There we go. It's take a little bit of elbow grease to get loose. Once they're already, they're pretty easy.
Totally forgot to film that, but I pulled the axle out. After you pull those three nuts from the knuckle, you can pull the entire axle out with the hub attached, and we'll go ahead and work on that U-joint. These are the C-clips we're pulling out. Just gotta kind of locate them. This one looks like it's entirely missing. Nope, it's there. So you can get a screwdriver just on the edge of one, pop it with a hammer a couple times, it'll come loose, and then you can just pull it. Sounds simple, right? Just pull it right out. There you go, C-clip, done. Now we can hammer that U-joint out. Making a little progress each blow. It's getting there. You can get a tool to do this. Probably be a lot easier. But this works. Alright, so we pushed out enough that this cap comes off. You can see there's barely any grease left. It's pretty dang dry. So it's a good idea that that was probably about done there. Now, this one kind of wants to pop already. But we're going to have to drive that other one through the other side. You can see the bearing grooves in the rubber seal there. So we'll drive this one back through the other way. Same way we drove that one through. Backwards the other way. And then we'll be able to pull this U-joint out on the hub side here. So we got both of the caps out. All of the C-clips off, and we're starting to pound out off of the hub side here. The inside of the bearing races, or not bearing races, but the inside of the ears look pretty good on the drive shaft side. We're going to check this one, make sure if there's any burrs or anything, we'll file them down and get that all taken care of. So we're going to pound this one out too, get this done, get this new U-joint in, and put her back together. Well, I wish I would have caught that on camera, but this cap exploded on me with all these broken and burnt to hell pin little needle bearings. So that was probably the culprit. Well, that last one had a bunch of dried out pins in it too, all burnt to crap. Some of them almost welding to the caps, full of rust. So we definitely know those were our issue. So we'll get this new bearing pressed in. We'll be good to go. Alright, so we're about halfway done. We got the old bearings out. They look, yeah, needle bearings falling everywhere. Or the old U-joint out. It looks pretty bad. So we got that out of there, and we're going to clean up the holes here, wipe them down with a rag, and get back into it and start pushing that new one in. I brought my vise out, and we're going to use that to press the other bearings into the little ears there on the yokes and get this put back together. So we're going to spray these out with oil penetrating oil, wipe them down with a rag. Check them out, make sure they're nice and clean, no burrs, no nicks, no big chunks of metal or anything. They look pretty good, so yeah, these are nice and clean. So that's a good thing right there. I'm going to wipe these with a little bit of grease so that they slide in nice and easy. Probably a terrible idea. Some mechanic's going to chew me up on that, but it makes life a little easier and doesn't seem to do any harm. So we're going to go ahead and get this new U-joint installed. Just using some Lucas Oil heavy duty grease. It's made for farm equipment. I use the hell out of my Jeep, so it's kind of like farm equipment, right? Alright, so what we're going to do, we're going to take our U-joint. We're going to go ahead and take 2 of these caps off. Make sure there's a bunch of good grease in there holding those pins up, those needle bearings. Take our other cap off. We're going to make sure we keep these same side so we know exactly what's going where. Go ahead and thread this in here very carefully. Make sure we're not getting it super dirty or anything. We'll put our cap in. Put our other cap in. Double check, make sure our bearings are good and not laying down. Seat it by hand a little bit. And then we're going to go ahead and get it in our vise here. I'm going to use this vise as like an arbor press, kind of. Press these bearings together. Or caps, I'm sorry. I'm going to go ahead and shut this camera off and do this because I don't think I can do this one-handed. Alright, well, we got it in there. It's pressed in. Runs back and forth nicely. There's no slop really in there. I did end up having to use the blocks kind of like on top of each other and hammer it in a bit. This one needs to go in a little further, but I'm going to go ahead and put the C-clip on this side to keep that from driving out. So we got a brand new pack of C-clips. Fish one of them out of here. C-clips should look like that. I'm going to put them in on a different angle than they were installed originally because before they were a little difficult to get loose because of where they were located. Come on. Ah, bigger persuader. Well, that's a pain in the butt. There we go. Oh, almost. These are very springy when they're new. They kind of hold a shape when they come off. But there we go. Clip that first one in. And like I said, I'm going to tap this in a little bit further. Until I get enough clearance on this inside edge to put that other C-clip. We're not quite there yet. Might have to use a socket. There we go, that should be about enough. Very close if not. Make sure we're still free there. Spill your C-clips all over, make sure you do that. Make sure you spill your C-clips everywhere around your area. That's definitely good for them. Using this because it kind of hurts my finger a bit. There we go. Got that C-clip in there too. Still free. No grinding or anything. That's good. We're halfway done putting her back in. So something I saw that you can do to kind of free these up a little bit is tap them around the ears a little. Kind of helps settle those little caps and makes it a little easier to knock back and forth. So that's nice and good. It's firm. It doesn't feel like it's binding at all. So that's good. We're going to go ahead and get the axle shaft over here and start swapping that out. This one I'm assuming is probably going to be a little bit more tricky. I'm going to try to clean some of this grease that is in here out, just to be safe. And like I said, I'm going to install a little bit of Lucas heavy duty in here. I forgot to wipe that out. Wipe those out real good. Get any dirt. Make sure there's no burrs or anything. Feels nice and smooth. A little Lucas heavy duty grease. Both sides. Just for my own peace of mind. So we'll go ahead and get the U-joint part in there first. which I believe is actually what you're supposed to do. Give me a hard time. There we go. Alright, so trying to make sure we don't have a bunch of crud on these. Push that guy in there a little bit. Rotate it over. Drop it all over the place. You know, that's what you're supposed to do, right? That works. And then put this other cap on top. I'm just going to give it a very light tap. Or several. Tap it in there so it's set a little bit. We're going to make sure this slides back and forth nicely. I got something binding, I think. Tap this one a little bit. There we go, I think we got her. Oh, still bonding. I'm going to give you a few wrappy wraps and see if it works out alright. Yep. We're good. Nice easy movement. Give this one a tap or two. Yep. We're lined up good. That's good. Excellent. So we got that all in there. Everything's running nicely. So we're going to put this drive shaft back in. So we're now fitting the axle back into the axle tube. You got to be very careful. There's a seal in there that you got to find. There it is. You got to be very careful here. Find that seal. There we go. We're through. Line her back up. And then all we got to do is put all these bolts back in, put the calipers back on. Should be good to go. Still got a squeak. I believe it's my drive shaft, a U-joint on the drive shaft, so I'm going to have to change that one out as well. I don't have the parts to do it today, so we're going to roll with it. I might have to pull that drive shaft out and just run it two-wheel drive for a little bit until I can get all the parts for that. But we're going to get this put back together. I'll show you when it's done, and we'll give her a spin and see how she rolls. Alright, so we fixed my laps of brain capacity there, and we now have the drive shaft back in there, or the axle shaft back in there. We're just going to line up these bolts. And we're going to get her put back together again. Alright, so we got the U-joint replaced over in the right front of the Jeep. Next week I'm going to go ahead and do the other one. Probably not going to videotape that since I already showed you how to do one side. I'm also going to have to replace my drive shaft, or at least the U-joints in my drive shaft, because they are squeaking like crazy right now. I'm going to try to grease them and push whatever's in there out and hope that helps. But aside from that, the front drive shaft is definitely squeaking, and I might have to replace that. So I'll put that on video as well if I do. I hope y'all like this content. If you enjoy it, let me know. Give me a like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Let me know what y'all are thinking of everything. It really helps me, you know, go forward making cooler videos that y'all enjoy. So until next time, I'm Armory Truck Josh. You're watching 6 Feet Jeep. Like, subscribe, comment, share. It all helps the channel greatly. Trying to make it to 1,000 subscribers so I can start making money and do more of these videos. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all. I love you. See you on the next one.